Hey y'all, my name is Allison Bixby. Some of you might know my husband Ben. He's the pastor of young adults here at Calvary Church, and we also have a 2-year-old son whose name is Reed, and we've lived in Lancaster for about a year now. We moved here from Columbia, South Carolina, so we're still adjusting and getting used to some of the cultural differences between the two places, but we really love it. My background is actually in writing. I have a master's degree in that, so I teach writing at the college level. Just do it on a part-time basis right now, but teaching really is my passion and in my blood. I love to help people figure out how to do something that they haven't been able to do before, or to help them understand something that has been kind of a mystery to them in the past. So I really have started to understand that what God calls us to do in regular life, those gifts and talents He gives us, are certainly things we can use in church life as well, and ways that we can bring Him glory. So I've decided that I wanted to give teaching a try here at Study and Share, and hopefully help you along on this journey of getting to know the women in the Bible and what that means about our own relationship with God. Okay, so here's a funny story about me and teaching in particular. So this was probably my first year teaching. This was maybe 5 years ago or so. And I am a meticulous planner. I'm not really a procrastinator. I like to get things done. And one of my biggest fears in teaching is I'm going to run out of something to say or material to cover. So I always way over prepare for stuff, but you just never know how much you're going to need. And so I think I'd gotten particularly excited that year, and I'd done some advanced planning even, so I was a week or two ahead in my lesson plans. And so I showed up to class one day, and I opened my notebook, and I start going through and teaching the content for the day. And about 5 or 10 minutes into class, I start getting these really strange looks from the students. And so I just chalked it up to, well, maybe they didn't read the chapter. And so I just kept going. I just kept plowing through, asking questions, and still getting these strange looks, and get all the way to the end of class. And I realized that things had gotten out of order, and I had done the wrong day. I'd been like 2 days ahead of anything they would have read or had known about. And I was pretty embarrassed and had to come back to class the next time and explain to them what happened. But hopefully that won't happen this semester. I know the women I'm teaching on, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys what the Lord's been showing me.
Hi ladies, I'm looking forward to studying and sharing together face-to-face this semester. Recently in Summer Splash, while reading Epic, I learned that everyone's story is a part of a bigger story that's God's story. I think it's powerful how we will be learning from women of the Bible how their stories can impact ours. So I'd like to tell you a story of how my life has been impacted by some other women. You might know me as Katie, but my mom called me Kathy. My family's always called me Kathy and does to this day, but 8 Kathys in my homeroom class were a little much. Someone slipped and called me Katie, and so I took that when I started as a freshman at Lancaster Bible College. However, when I was graduating from Washington Bible College, and one of my good friends kept talking about how great Katie was, my maternal grandmother said, "I don't know who this Katie girl is, but I wish she'd stop talking about her." My middle name is Jean, and that came from a retired Calvary missionary and chaplain's wife named Jean Rainier Acker. As an older cousin of mine, she impacted me greatly by having outdoor pancake breakfasts and homemade pizza parties just so she could reach out with the gospel to many young people in the tiny village of Mount Nebo. Owen is my maiden name, and it's significant because it connects me with Peggy Huber. So Peggy influenced and impacted my life quite some time ago by leading a Bible study with Ray for a couple of us cousins in Lancaster County. My last name is Mabel, and if I'd been named for my maternal grandmother, I would have been Mabel. As a child, I thought I wanted to be 2 things, a teacher and an artist. I didn't know it would be easier to be married to an artist than to be one, I think. What I am learning is that it's easier to be a learner than a teacher. So I'm looking forward to being learners together with you and seeing how our individual stories fit into God's bigger story. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Peggy Huber, Director of Women's Ministries here at Calvary Church, a position I've had for 13 years now. Never dreamed I'd be in that position, never dreamed I would be in this position that long, but it's been such a great privilege. My family tree has deep roots in New England, from Maine to Massachusetts to the small town in Connecticut where I grew up. I was in a very devoutly religious family. I never cracked open a Bible till I was 19 when I was a student at Penn State, and that's where I started my journey as a follower of Christ. That's also where I met my husband, Ray. We've been married for 41 years. We have 2 kids, adults and married, one in Millersville, one in Columbus, Ohio, with our 4 grandchildren as well. I started teaching the Bible 40 years ago this year. That's incredible to me. I had been a follower of Christ maybe 2 years, and they asked me to be a substitute teacher for 7th graders. I absolutely loved it, and I've been on that passionate journey ever since. I started at Study and Share when I didn't even attend Calvary Church, and eventually I became a Study and Share teacher. And it has been my great joy and privilege, yet sobering responsibility, to continue to teach and to lead this ministry. There's been high points and low points in this ministry road, good things, hard things, but right now there are such great things happening at Calvary Church that I've told my coworkers, if you want me out of here, you're going to have to carry me out and pry my fingers off the door jambs on the way out. Really, I've been on a journey with God for 42 years. He has been so faithful to me. Really, I have had the privilege to come to know the God of the universe. To know him is to love him, to be his handmaiden, available for whatever he wants me to do. To know him is to love his word. He says in his word, this is your very life, and it is my delight to lead other women to love his word as well. And finally, to know him is to love his bride, his church, his people. It is my current calling to be a bridesmaid, serving the bride of Christ, so that she may be as beautiful and radiant as she was ever designed to be. That we will together be ready to meet our bridegroom.